The lesson.
Oh yeah.
So then, so your third album, Bring It Back, 2012. That's the last one that you did with Obese, and then your fourth album, Cinematic. Now that one dropped in 2013. So I'm going to assume then that in that time you've signed to a major label.
Yes. So I signed with Warner at the start of 2013. Basically, as soon as Bring It Back came out, I moved to Warner. Yeah.
And did you have other offers from other major labels, or was it just really Warner that was looking at you?
No, I had a couple, but the head of Warner at the time was a dude, Tony Harlow. He now is the head of Warner Music UK, so he's been promoted to the nines. He was personally really invested. When I finished with Obese, I had a couple of offers, but he was the dude that had wanted to buy me out of my contract before Bring It Back came out. So he'd been around for a minute and really was pushing for it. And when you have the head of the label pushing for you, that's a lot better than having, an A&R or having someone who's not that. Basically, it's better than having anyone else chasing you. So I knew that I would be in good hands. I had personal assurances, and that it was really a pretty clear option, a clear choice for me. Yeah.
And then, so on that album, you had Draft as a feature. Now, you've worked with Draft before. You also had the Hoods, the Hilltop Hoods as a feature. Was that the first time that you had a song with them?
Yeah. So I'd seen the boys in passing for years, but I'd met them maybe the year before at a festival properly, and I remember emailing them to jump on Coming Down, the song off Cinematic. Just being like, look, I got this song. I know we've only met briefly, but I'm a fan. I'd love to have you on it. I think you'd kill it. And like expecting them to not even reply, and they just hit back like, yeah, bro, let's do it. I'm like, what the fuck? All right, sick. I was like, if I knew it was that easy to get a bucket list fucking thing ticked off, I'd have been more proactive about this shit. But yeah, they came on, they did their thing, and I mean, it's still, that really, I say bucket list thing, and having the Hoods on the track was really like, I think I say it in a song. It was like a real, again, I keep talking about it, but it's true. It was a real milestone in my career.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, because when you were on Obese, were they still on Obese, or they had left by the time you jumped on?
No, I remember the night that the Spit Syndicate boys signed. We were on the way out in Melbourne. We were all in Pegs' car. And that was the night that Pegs like kind of told us. He was like, yo, the Hoods are leaving Obese, Funk Wars are leaving Obese. So that would have been 2008. So this is, it was before, they left just before we all signed, basically. We were like the next generation that were going to take over from that, yeah.
Ah, okay, that makes sense as to why you didn't meet them then, because you weren't label mates. They left just before you jumped on.
Exactly. They went to Universal, like they did Golden Era, Universal, that was 2008. And then I did, Warner through my label 1-2. And my label 1-2, similar setup to what the Hoods did, I did, but years later, yeah.
Ah, and that label that you're referring to, 1-2, did All Day have a hand in that?
All Day was our first signing. So we did 3 albums with All Day on 1-2.
Were they his first 3 albums, or?
They were, yeah.
Wow, okay. And then so after that 1-2 thing, that's when you've signed to Warner?
No, so I signed to Warner with an imprint, So my own label was through Warner. Yeah.
What the Hoods did with Golden Era is what you did with 1-2.
But years later, I mean, you kind of have to sort of prove, you have to earn your stripes to be able to get into a position to do that. So yeah.
The lesson.
Oh Oh yeah.